He's the tall, dark, and handsome ones.
He was tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, ladies, be careful of tall, dark, and handsome gentlemen. No, they are good people. Yeah,
charismatic.
Most of them.
Yeah. So we were just people from two very different worlds.
So it's also very strategic.
And the more you cry, the more you are feeding that vampire thirst in them. They are really enjoying it.
They like seeing you helpless.
They like seeing you helpless. Yeah. And when they see that you are about to leave, they start love bombing you again. Yes, they'll bring you maybe flowers. They'll take you out maybe for a dinner.
Yeah.
Or they'll bring you something you like, even a candy.
Yeah.
2-3 days, then it starts all over again.
Yeah. So they're showing you, I love you, but you're this helpless person and you need me.
Yes, I've had other cases mostly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Far From Home Diaspora Conversations. We always start by thanking you for your love, for your comments, for your likes, for sharing this podcast with your friends and loved ones and family. We did not, even when we started, we did not take it for granted that we would be receiving so much support from all of you. And we are thankful for that. Continue sharing, continue subscribing, continue telling your friends about us. And we are bringing you really deep conversations that sometimes are not planned. And I am your host, Kara Mimrock.
And this is One Boy.
Yeah, and today we are really also excited to tell you about our sponsors, TDEX Media. Thank you so much, TDEX Media, for trusting us and working with us. We'll be telling you more about TDEX Media as we continue. So about our conversation today, I give it to One Boy.
Yes, thank you very much, Caro. So today we have a special conversation. We have a guest again. You remember last time we had Wendo, and now we have invited another guest. Our guest for today is Charity. Charity, we want to welcome you to our podcast. Thank you for taking the time and coming all the way. And I would like to tell you a bit about Charity, how I got to know her. And some of you know her. She's an activist. She does a lot about domestic violence and abuse, which she will tell us more in the course of our conversation. But I met Charity in the community. Because you also do a lot of community activism. And especially when I got to know her, it was during the time we opened our first Black library in Cologne, Teodor Vonia Michael Bibliothek. This was shortly after the issue of George Floyd. Yeah. This is when I really got to know you and see you. And then we started a book club, and you were also there.
Yeah.
And we had really good books. We were reading books by Bell Hooks, Maya Angelou, Toni Morrison. It was really these good books that where you have really good conversations. And I really enjoyed having this space with you and you telling, because most of us were still at the university, and you were telling us many good things about life and what you have learned, and I really appreciated that. Yeah, and Charity introduces herself as a community activist, as a Kenyan citizen, and a German resident in Cologne. So Charity, welcome, and would you please like to introduce yourself?
Oh, thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank you two ladies so much. I was really, really, really touched by being considered for your new podcast. As one of your guests, I'm very grateful, and keep on doing what you're doing. Is a good job.
Thank you.
Yes, my name's Charity Wairimu Ngugi-Latz. Yes, a Kenyan and a German resident, a Kenyan citizen, a mother of 5, grown-up, mother-in-law, 3, and many grandchildren. And yes, and I'm a sister and auntie to many. Yes, I'm also an activist in the community for domestic violence and abuse, and I'm also a community reporter and an author too. Yes.
Wow, many things that you've done.
Thank you so much, Charity, for coming. And we didn't know each other personally until now. So I've only been seeing you on social media, the work you do, and I've admired you for a very, very long time. And I remember when we started doing the podcast, I told Wambui, how about Charity? And when she told me you've accepted to come, I was like, oh, this is so nice. Because every time I see you, or when I see you on social media, I perceive you as this really lady who is at home with herself. And you always remind me of Maya Angelou. It feels to me like this is our Maya Angelou. You are Charity, yes, but that's how highly I think of you when I look at you and how you are aging gracefully, just being a woman at home with herself. Or that's the feeling I get when I see you. And now my question to you, the one we ask every guest, what or where is home for you?
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for the compliments, both of you. I'm really, really very, very grateful. And it's a long time since I've been so spoiled with such compliments. So today is a beautiful day. Yes, and sorry, I've lost the question. Yeah, the question was...
What or where is home for you?
What and where is home?
Yes.
Now, for me, home is different faces at different times.
Yes.
Like some time back when I first came for the first 10 years, for me, home was Kenya. And then in the next, let's say I've been around for about, let's say, almost now like 25 years in Germany. In the beginning, it was just about home. It's Kenya. And that's because I'd left my children behind. They were very young, very, very, very young. And so I was really missing them. And so I was missing home so much. And in the second phase of my life, it was because I have to work. So I was part Kenya, part here, but I was traveling a lot to Kenya too. And then in this third phase of my life, let's say like from when I especially turned around 60, I'm now 64.
Oh, wow.
So lady here. I'm now 64.
Looking good. Looking really good. Yeah.
Thank you. And for me right now, I'm beginning to feel like home is Germany also. Because of my passion for domestic violence and abuse is with the migrant. My voice is for the migrants because I've been here for so long. So right now, I feel here is home, but of course Kenya will always be home.
Yes.
But I'm beginning to feel very home. I'm beginning to possess my stand in this country.
You've owned your space in this country.
Yes, I've owned my space in this country and I'm feeling comfortable about it.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I love how she says to possess your stand in this country.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we are passive.
Yeah.
We want someone to make us feel at home.
Yeah.
But this is you now saying, no, I'm taking it. It's mine now. This is home because I possess it.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. And that is why I call myself also a dignity visionary.
Yes.
Because the word dignity is you feel like you're accepted, you acknowledge, your identity, and you have to voice yourself and you don't get scared and you have to own your now. If you don't own your now, then you'll always be scattering up and down and then you have your one foot this place, one foot this place. And the fact that I've decided that Germany is a place I would want to stay and Kenya will be my holiday home, it's not bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So now you feel like you have two homes, according to... okay. Wow,
Yes.
that's really nice.
I do.
So you told us you've lived in Germany for almost 25 years. You came in 1999. How did you come? What was your process? Because all of us have different stories. Wambui talked about her story. If you haven't watched those episodes, how we came to Germany, just go back and watch them. Wambui came as an au pair. I came with a German man, and I came and married him here. So how was your story, or how did you come?
My story, actually, it was not in my plan to come to Germany. Yes, because I had my children in Kenya, all with an African, parent. And it is because of domestic violence and abuse. That was the beginning of the course of thinking of coming to Germany.
Okay.
And so my sister was already here.
Yeah.
And one of her best friends, or our friends, her name is Jacinta Baker.
Yeah.
She decided to invite me because I'd really gone down to a very, very to poverty and all that because of domestic violence and abuse from the father of my 4 children.
Yeah.
I've got 5 children, but one is from another. The first one is from another parent. So this one,
She introduced you to your
Yeah, so
husband.
she introduced me to him.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, I told him all my story. She also told him the story. And he had also just been widowed for about 1.5 years.
Okay.
And he also felt, we just clicked.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just thought, why don't I just take off from this place and just go and start a new life and just get my life back? Because I just totally lost control of my life, you know? And I was feeling so powerless. And so, and I was also thinking about my children. I wanted a better future for them, and
For the children.
it was not going to happen
Yeah.
as long as I was around that man.
Yeah.
Yes, he's late now, but as long as I was around him, I was not getting anywhere. Yeah.
So in Kenya, you had studied. You
Yes,
studied.
yeah.
You went to the University of Nairobi.
Yes, I'm a Bachelor of Arts Literature major. I have an honors in literature. I graduated in 1981. Were you born?
I was 1 year old.
1981.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
And then did you do anything in literature, or where did you start working in Nairobi?
Funny enough, I didn't work. I worked for a very short time with what was called Kenya School Equipment Scheme for a very short time. And then the parastatals were hiring the graduates. At that time, it was just a thing the government was doing. So they were taking so I was taken into Kenya National Assurance.
Okay.
I went there for an interview and I got my space, and I went into life insurance. So that's why I stayed for a long time.
Yes.
I was in middle management. Yes, and so I did, and then later on there was a bit of literature in it because I always wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
But the reason I did not teach was because the payment for teachers was very low.
Ah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Gotcha.
so I was
Yeah.
guided that it's best I just go into the parastatal with the government, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean with parastatal?
Parastatal are more like they're not like the government itself. Like they are owned by the government. They are like private institution owned by the government. Yeah, So we had many parastatals. Yeah.
Okay.
And they were giving good money.
Oh yes, the pay was very good.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
only about 22 then.
Wow. And earning really good money.
Yes, I was earning very good money.
Yeah.
That sounds so empowered for a woman at that time in Kenya, because sometimes there is this idea that when you're in an African country as a young woman, you're not empowered. I get this sense sometimes, but this is not what I'm hearing from all these stories that I'm hearing.
Yes.
You were already living your life. You had your money. You had your degree.
Yes.
And even once we had a conversation before, and it was the time of Michere Mogo. May she rest in peace. Michere Mogo just passed away. May she rest in peace. And Ngugi wa Thiong'o. So you were dealing with these people that I love and respect so much.
Oh yes, in my first year I met them. They taught me briefly.
They
but then-
taught you.
Yeah, but this is the time when they also ran away in exile.
Yeah.
So, but they did teach me, and I was taught by a lot of very, very, very renowned African writers, even Rubadiri, and we met all of them, Chinua Achebe, and all of them. We met them.
You met Chinua Achebe? Oh my God. Do you know what I would have done if I met Chinua Achebe, Michere Mogo, Ngugi wa Thiong'o?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is beautiful.
That's really wonderful. And how, because you have talked about domestic abuse. So how you're this young lady earning good money in Nairobi, your life is good. How did the events turn around that you're now in a situation when you're being abused?
The thing is, I was already in another relationship with somebody we were in the university together.
Yes.
But through a friend of mine, I met this guy. And apparently, he saw a fish, because this young girl with a good job and everything had wooed me. He was a very charismatic, young, handsome man. So
Okay.
I thought he
Tall,
was
dark, and
fine.
handsome.
For that.
Yeah, he was very dark.
It's the tall, dark, and handsome ones.
He was tall, dark, and handsome.
Ladies, be careful of tall, dark, and handsome gentlemen. No, they are good people. Yeah.
And charismatic,
Most of them.
yeah. So we were just people from two very different worlds, and we met, but I couldn't see it. People tried to tell me that, this is a fraudster and everything, but I just couldn't listen. Guess I was in love. And don't forget, I was 22.
Yeah, yeah. You had no experience.
don't
No
have life
experience.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
straight from high school all through. I've never stopped learning, and direct from high school into university. So what do I know?
And so you continued with, or you started a relationship with him?
I started a relationship with him.
Yeah.
One of the things we tell people about domestic violence and abuse, if you see a relationship which is moving too fast, somebody moving to stay with you too fast, and all these kind of things, owning your car, owning your property, or, taking your money and whatever, always you are lending them, then those are very, very large red flags for abusers. Those are the red flags, number one.
They come in and take over your life.
Yeah, they come and take over your life. You don't know them. You don't know them. What do you know about them?
That's
Nothing.
so true, yeah.
But what stops you from noticing? Because if someone now came and moved in my house, in my mind, I think I would say no. If someone now wanted to possess my car, my house, in my mind now, where I'm standing right now, I would think that I would say, no way. So how does it get to this point where you're this empowered young woman, and someone is coming and taking over your life, and somehow you let it? How does that happen?
The thing, it doesn't happen like they come and tell you, hey, I'm taking it by force.
Yeah.
It starts with love. You are sharing. You're all the time together. You're this
Love
sweet
bombing.
band. Yeah, love bombing.
Yeah.
You're going out. But eventually, when you look back, even at the spending, you'll find that most of it you are spending indirectly. Even if in the beginning they might even spend. You see, they target. You see, an abuser targets you. It is not something
not
which happen-
random.
It's not random. It's not random. It's a real target. They target you and they know. Yeah, they know exactly who they are looking for, and they see an opportunity, and you are that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, for whatever reasons. Some of the people target, for example, like if it is an online dating, and let's say somebody who is a European, let's say Caucasian and Africa, they might target you because of thinking about the sex life, which is too exotic, whatever. Then later on, they start saying, this is somebody who I can enslave. Slowly by slowly, there's always something about it.
Yeah.
After the love bombing is out, then the red flags come out,
Wow. Yeah.
It's a whole big topic. It's very psychological.
And you were in it for many years.
Oh, yes.
You were in it for so many years.
I was in it for 17 years.
Wow.
Yes, 17 years, trying to run off, coming back, most of the time coming back by my own.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because of the children.
Yeah. So at this time you have children. You
At
had
this time we have
how many
children.
children together?
4.
4 children.
Very rapidly. In the beginning, it was quite organized. One after the other was 5 years break, but the other ones were like, pop. Yeah, so...
Were you still in love with him all this time? Or were you staying because of the kids? And
I was staying because of... No, plus he had told me if I leave him, he's going to kill me. And yeah. Don't forget he was beating me thoroughly.
During that relationship, he was beating you.
Oh my
Physically, mentally, financially, everything.
So you were still going to work. Was he working?
Whatever work he was doing was a fraudster. He never had an office or anything like that.
Okay.
But you know, crooks are crooks. They're too smart. The way they talk and everything, you would never know really. You wouldn't.
So at what point did you notice? Because now before this, you're this in love, and then you have your kids. At what part did you start noticing this is dangerous for me?
I didn't even at first want even to take off. I went into a lot of, I went seriously into religion in the, the one which tells you just stick around and just continue praying for this person. It's going to help. So I was very, very fanatically religious at one point. Yeah.
You're not leaving your husband. You stay with him and pray for him.
You're not leaving. In fact, what was ended up happening is just getting pregnant again and again, you see, till they came to 4 children,
And you are not even using contraceptives?
Because they used to make me sick. But that was not the excuse, because I could have really done something about it. There's something which happens is like you have this fog over in your head,
And maybe even the information.
Yeah,
Do you have the information?
No, about the contraceptives, I had the information.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just couldn't leave
not
him.
doing it.
No, plus fear.
The fear of being,
And
of course,
don't
being
forget,
killed. Yeah.
during my time was the time like when you go to a police station to report that
They don't.
your man has beaten you, they tell you those are stories for whom. Not that I had never tried, you know.
Yeah. There was no support
Or
from
you
the
go to the
community.
chief. Yeah.
Oh my God. So you have these two institutions, the church institution, which is supposed to help you, that tells you pray.
Yeah.
Then you have this other institution, the police, who are also supposed to protect, who tell you, no, that's your problem at home. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Or don't talk even about it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, most of the time, even when you try to talk to people, they say we don't want to interfere. I tried to reach out to one or two people, you know, like, what can I do? Nobody wants to interfere. Number one, they're also scared of him. He was a very tough guy, eh? And those were the days, not like now, where the law sometimes these days it takes violence. You know, they consider about violence. People are jailed for beating people. Those days, really, even a man could beat you on the street, and he just says, I found her prostituting outside or something like that. And the other people will stand there and say, yeah, bash her properly, you know?
Oh,
Jesus. This is just amazing.
Yeah, no, it's not that I did not try. I
but
tried.
it was not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so after all this time of this beating and 17 years, then what happened that landed you in this country?
What happened is that slowly, my sister had already come here. And slowly, now this friend of ours, she's called Jacinta, had come on a holiday. And when she came and saw that I was now living in a madhouse in Matope, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Not madhouse like a crazy house, but
A lame.
Lame.
Yeah.
a house made of mud.
Made of mud.
Made of mud.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
And
can imagine.
you were still working?
No, I had stopped working.
You had okay.
I had quit working because why should I go to work and I come and I give him all the money? Yeah.
So that is why you are living in
But
this
even
house.
after I quit working, I started like hawking.
You're still doing small things.
I was hawking. There's a time I was going to Kikomba buying camisoles. I was selling them. There's a time I slept in the police station because I was caught by the city council.
Oh yeah, that drama.
All that drama. A lot of
Hawking.
things.
Let me just tell people, hawking means someone who sells things on the street. Mostly you carry things and then you go selling to people, maybe in cars or even people who are just walking by. So you come from this insurance job that's paying you well to doing this now.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And so it was now, I was starting to realize now I was looking for a way out. But actually, she's the one who really made me see my way out. Because when she came, they went
introduced you to your husband.
Yeah, first of all, they went off with her sister. And her sister told her, no, go back and help that woman.
Yeah,
You must help her. You must help your friend. Take her to Germany. So then she happened to know now my husband, who happened to be in Kenya at that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
And so called me, introduced me to him. And he said, yes, I'm going to take you. And we went and to the embassy and, and then, I got my visa.
So it's not like you fell in love. This man was really helping you. At some point, I believe he liked you and he loved you. But in the beginning, it was he's helping you to get out of this situation.
I think he also loved me just when he first saw me.
Okay, yeah.
You can imagine as a very beautiful
you still are a beautiful woman.
Young girl, slim, very slim and beautiful. Anyway, the thing is we got on. But anyway, my husband was always a sympathetic person, an empathic person. He was not a violent person. So he just liked to help me. In any case, he also wanted to stay with somebody. He said he had never in his life stayed on his own. This 1 year was Kenuk.
So he was looking for it,
It was just God's plan, So that's how I came to Germany. I went to the embassy, I got my visa. And after I got my visa, then I traveled. Now the hardest part was, okay, you have got the ticket, you have got this. Now how are you going to run away? Now my biggest problem was leaving these children. But I had to. I just ran away one fine day.
You just disappeared.
I just disappeared. I just took off and I went to the airport and took off and came to Germany.
Did you explain something to the kids?
No, I didn't. They were small. That time the oldest, who is now here in Hamburg, he was 10. He was the oldest and he was 5 years more than the other one. So the other one was like 5.
Very young.
And 4 and 2 or something like that.
How difficult was it to leave your children?
It was difficult, but I had to do it. Honestly, if I did not do it, I was getting nowhere.
You'd have not been a good mother to them, staying there.
Yeah. Yes. And after that, I wanted my children to go. I'm the one who was, even right now when I was staying in that mad house, he was not bringing any money. I'm the one who has to pay their primary school fees, the government school, go to the government school begging for bursaries, starting to do all those kind of things for their big one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd
had to
lost all
save
my
your life.
friends, the ones who went to college with, because he had totally isolated me from them.
And that
So-
is what abusers do. They isolate you.
Mm.
Wow. Wow.
So the other friends I had were now in the church undergoing the same kind of problems.
And not talking about them, just praying.
Yeah,
Just
praying and talking
Praying.
about them. Yeah.
Jesus.
So
Oh my God. And now, how did you now, because did you have family? Did he separate you from also the family, or what was happening? Was there anyone else who was there for you that you could say, I'm going now? I'm just thinking why I'm asking this question is you're leaving, and then there's this man, and then there's your kids. So is there any form of communication of I'm leaving but I'll come back, please take care of these kids, or how did you do it?
No, the minute I arrived, I did call him. I'd left them in their home area. In the home area is in the compound were all his sisters, his father and parents and
okay.
everybody.
You had gone to where he lived.
okay.
Yeah, that's where I was living. We had just been given a shack there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I did call him, and of course, now the user he is. He was of course, very happy. Now I'm in Germany and I can send the money. And for some time
he
I
was
started
happy.
sending. Yeah.
Wait, and you were sending him money?
Now what to do?
Because of the
What do I do?
children.
Because the children are there.
Yeah.
Until I can be able to come and now take them.
Oh my God.
And plus, on top of that, of course, if I didn't do that, he could mistreat them, or he could do something. I had to do that. And plus, it's not like he was bad to his children at beating them or anything like that. He was not.
That's what I would have asked. Was he also violent to the kids? He wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
So you came here, and then did you find a job? Did you start?
Yeah. So when I came here, immediately I got married. I wanted to do, but that time there was no this mobile. There was no internet. So the time when I came, now I wanted to go to college. Then I was told it's impossible. You don't have the language. And then at the same time, my husband, money was just enough for two of us, take care of two of us. So I went to work in the hotel industry. That was where I could get the fastest job, as in housekeeping.
Okay.
Yeah, Sima
Cleaning
mentioned.
the rooms.
Yeah, cleaning the rooms. Yeah. So that's why I worked for quite some time. But in between, I wanted to study the language.
Okay.
Because when I started thinking I can even be, in the housekeeping, I can move on to the hotel or something like that.
Yeah.
Then it became so difficult to learn the language. You are so tired. That job is a very hard job.
Yes,
Housekeeping here
it
is
is.
very tough. When you get home, you don't even want to eat, or you are so tired. And so after just 1 month, I just couldn't because of the grammar. Plus, I was older. So to start learning this language, which starts from the other way around, I'm thinking too much in English.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had too much English in my head.
Yeah, German is a very difficult question. Language. It is.
It is,
Yeah.
really.
And you are 35?
Yeah, I was now about 35, 36.
36, yeah.
Around there. Yeah. So I gave up.
You stopped.
I stopped. And so my life just took another turn. I got again now into another group of another new group where we were helping each other.
Yeah.
Weekends, now my life was weekend. Just go where I'll meet my friends. And slowly by slowly, alcoholism. But I was still working. But
Yeah. Was you? Of course, I can imagine you are missing your children a lot. So you are
Yes.
living in Germany. You don't have your children. You left them in Kenya. You've left them in the hands of somebody who was abusing you. Is that the reason why you went into alcoholism?
Yeah, definitely as a mother. That is my coping. It has been a coping mechanism for me. And it's actually something which, sometimes I say they're generational things, where alcohol becomes that it is the coping mechanism. That was a lot in my family. especially from my parents' side. My mother somehow went through the same kind of domestic violence and ended up very badly. My aunt, the same kind of thing, you know.
Okay,
Them,
yeah.
they did not escape, you know, so luckily I ran away. But the alcoholism was not that I was not working. I could not miss work.
You are a
because at least-
functioning alcoholic.
yeah, I was a functioning one. Yeah. It has always been something which I deal with. Alcoholism is a disease. It's in your blood. It's something you want. It's just like a drug, or sometimes
Yeah.
if when
It
you are
is,
sad, it's the
yeah.
thing you think to do.
The
You
solution.
are
It's,
solu- because you want to go and just relax your mind, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And the problem is when you're alcoholic, you know, for you can drink. When other people are getting drunk with 2 beers, for you need about like 10 to get high, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
So it became the thing you are doing. You're not thinking, you're just taking your beer and then you
it's
can
not
go
that
and
you're
sleep.
not thinking.
Yeah.
And a lot of other things which I don't want to talk on camera.
that's okay, yeah.
Because of my children's sake. Of course, you know, with alcoholism goes a lot of other things, which I'm not. But the other thing is, I don't say that I'm. That was what I knew how to do best then. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just it was my coping way. I was working. I made sure my children went. You know, I did now immediately after I started working. I was stopping the jobs after every like 6 months. Then I go to Kenya for 5 months.
Okay.
I
To
tried
be with
to
your
go
kids.
back, yeah, to be with the children, especially every time when they close the school terms. You know, in Kenya, the three months
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
So I was going to Kenya a lot. I was there. And then I put them in good schools, in boarding schools that they can attest to. Very nice private schools. Bought a piece of land, built a place for them. They were doing well. I really spoiled them.
Yeah. And there was no chance of them coming to join you in Germany?
That was the idea when we got married.
Yeah.
That was the agreement. But immediately after we got married, he would get some advice in the Knipe, I don't know. No, don't. She's gonna leave you after that or something like that. But I never left him. It was never my plan to leave him. To leave him, why? He was not mistreating me. Then it was so difficult. And another thing was also the father of these children. For example, my firstborn son came just before. He was the first one to come. He sent him instead of the familiar. He's coming to join the family.
Yeah.
He said he's just coming for a holiday when they were on a school holiday. So they
my
wanted to
God.
deport him, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I really paid a lot of fees. I had to really fight for him to get adopted.
Yeah. And he stayed. So it's only that one son who stayed in
He
Germany.
managed to come here. He's still here in Hamburg.
Yeah. And how you also said you have grandchildren. How is the relationship now with your
With
children?
my children.
Yeah.
You know, we have a good relationship.
Okay.
We have a good relationship. We are close. We talk, especially with my daughters, we talk. No, actually, even with my son. I've got one son now there in Kenya. Forget about, not forget about. Apart from the other first one, we don't see each other a lot. But I think he thought I disappointed him. But he doesn't know this life which I went, the hard life I went through. Because he was also probably still young. But we have seen each other in between, and I hope, and we said we have forgiven each other, but we really have not much contact. Although I see him on Facebook, he's doing well.
Yeah.
And he sees me once in a while, he likes my things, I like his things. And I pray that he does well. And but him, we are not close.
It was.
But then the others, we are close. Because for some strange reason, one of the problems we've had is for them, you know, to really be independent, you know. That's one thing I always feel like I didn't teach them how to be independent.
You have been very supportive in a way
extremely, I think overly.
Was it because of the guilt, maybe?
It was the guilt, and I was only working because of them. As if it was just me alone. I didn't need to work. I didn't need to do that hard job. All that work I was doing was because of them.
Did you at any one point think, I want to earn so much money and then go back to Kenya to my children?
Oh, yes, I did. There's a time I really saved a lot of money, almost like 8,000.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go and open a hotel, and I actually went and opened a hotel and restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a bar, restaurant, and a hotel, and I
Yeah.
opened in the Ruta satellite. It was doing very well. But the minute I just get on the plane, because I'm a Kenyan resident, I can't stay more than 6 months.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You're a Kenyan citizen. So
Yeah.
your residence permit would be
Yeah, yeah.
revoked if you stayed more than 6 months. Yeah.
So I would come in, again, go work for 3 months while they are still in school, come back. And then I find everything is...
With the
I'd
restaurant.
even left my brother in charge, just
didn't
messed
work.
it up, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is something that really happens a lot when you're trying to navigate your life from here, doing it there, and
Yeah.
also depending and expecting people to take it as seriously as you would, but it never really works out like that.
It never. And it's a common thing. Like I have groups of women where we talk together. Like we have a group, like we are 50 plus. A Kenyan group, we are 50 plus.
I've seen that group, and I
It's
love.
really amazing. Yeah.
I really love that you do this because we live in a society where aging is not necessarily a good thing. So you taking charge of this 50 plus group and you guys doing things, I really admire how you do it.
Yeah.
Really.
How did that group come to being?
It came to be me and a friend of mine, Jane Gitonga Tuition. We met actually because of Kenya Women in Germany.
Okay, yeah.
We met and then we were together in this domestic violence group, which we started also in the Kenyan Women in Germany group.
Okay, yes.
And so one fine day we just said, we need to have where we can talk people of our age. And so I said, yeah, let's start it. So let's start on Facebook. So we asked the admins there, can we have this group? They said, oh, yes, fantastic idea.
I remember because I also wanted to join and then you told me, no, it's for 50 plus. So because the conversation looked so nice.
Oh, yeah. A boy with her 30, you're even younger
I
that time.
always feel like that. I always feel as if I'm closer.
No, go
I
slowly.
think the life experiences these people have, you cannot...
Really.
Yeah.
And that is so good for us because we talk about everything. And there is where you find, I'm not the only one who is experiencing this. Wow. This is a common problem.
Yes.
What are some of these things that you really get into talking about in your group?
Some of the common problems, for example, is like our siblings back home. Despite sometimes you really help them and everything, and then you want to go back or you have to go back, you find that they don't really respect you. They don't acknowledge you. They don't acknowledge you, and it is so. And it is, or sometimes we have seen cases of where after separate, or you have built a house for your parents, but let's say the parents pass off, the brothers are chasing you away.
And it's your house.
And it's your house. They tell you, no, this is not your house because they have been staying there. And we also have a culture of where also, if you build a house for your parents, and let's say like your brother comes, and then let's say, for example, I'm just give you an example.
Yeah.
With a wife. Once they stay there, they own the house. And it's no longer like yours. And then threatening you or something like that. So these are some of the things. There's a lot of land issues. There's a lot of, maybe you sent money for something to happen.
That nothing
Or
happened.
businesses to open.
Yeah.
Nothing was done. And when you ask, it is, so we share these sorrows. We share everything and everything. We talk about everything.
It's a safe space for you where
It's
you
a
feel
very
like you
safe
can
space, yeah.
speak about everything.
It's a totally safe place.
Yeah.
What we talk there stays there, but we talk of some of these common problems. We help each other out. A lot of things.
Is it only Kenyan women?
Yeah, this one is because this one is under the Kenya Women in Germany group.
Yes. Is it open to everybody, or are you a restricted nice group of this?
No, the thing is, it is very, very. What do you call it? Before, it was open to so many people. Many
Yes.
people came in and walked out. They couldn't attend on time or whatever, the attendance and all that. But right now, the way we have formed, we have gone so far that we have gone so far that what is happening is that we feel like really now we are a family.
You're a family.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
someone
Sisters.
coming in, it will not work. And
Yeah,
you
maybe
pass on.
another new one, they form it, just the same one. Because you have to bond.
Yeah.
Before you bond this, you have very different characters, different temperaments, a lot of differences. But later on, you all come and find until you reach a point where you respect each other and, you grow together.
Yeah.
So
it's a really a sisterhood that
right now,
you.
as I said, we are about 21.
Wow.
I think this is so empowering
Wow.
because one of the things that as you age in the diaspora, I think this is the one thing that you lose most, this community of people who are your age, who understand your language. And it reminds me of how we have merry-go-rounds home, where women, at home it was also women who would come and collect money together and have projects together. And you now having this in the diaspora, it must be a really empowering thing.
It is. It is. This one we haven't invested together because nearly everybody who is there is also in another group of investment or whatever.
Yeah.
This is just a place for where we just talk about
share.
our life
and
share. Yeah.
Oh, that's really amazing.
I remember there's a time we wanted to come here.
Yeah,
we are still going to do it.
Something.
Yeah.
Please do. Please, I would love to host these ladies,
Queens,
and just be a part of that conversation. I would sneak in and just.
You're too young.
It doesn't matter. I'll just behind the door, just listen to their conversations. When I get this chance of being present with this, it's really amazing, and I find what you're doing really, and also your voice, this activism. Dealing, helping immigrants who maybe come here, they are young, they don't know how to navigate life. And then having somebody like you who is, or even the others, who is so experienced and can guide them through and also point out the things they are blind to. Like now, what I really find, there's a quote I saw about you had written, and I found that so empowering.
Yeah,
and I would
we
like
talked about that quote yesterday.
We talked about that.
You have to remind me. I write many things and I don't remember.
You write beautiful things, by the way.
I don't remember.
And you see the literature in it. So whatever we lacked as victims comes to us as survivors in tenfold thriving mode. And we become successful co-creators on planet Earth. We shift from just existing to living full lives, and from being invisible to being fully visible. Wow. That's so powerful.
Yeah, that's a fact. The people who I have met who have become now survivors of domestic violence, they went through their own kind of domestic violence. And we have walked with them. And they have finally succeeded. Some even went back to schooling because they had been stopped from schooling, house building. They went back. They've got a lot of success stories. Some are like, I know one who is a dentist, a helper, assistant. I know a lot. They are doing great things and they are making it, but they never thought that. And they always come back and say, thank you guys.
Wow.
Thank you guys. Now they're survivors and they are going to, and some of them, I'll even introduce to them. These are people who they can even tell their story just to encourage, So that is why I said to just existing. Existing is where now you are just here. You are just going to work, and from work you come home, and a lot of people do like that when they just go out and then they isolate themselves. They're isolated. What do a lot of people do? There are a lot of people who they don't go to the bar, but they are alcoholics at home.
In the house, in
the house. And we have seen deaths happening. Somebody passed on, and 6 days a week, nobody even realized because they were not picking people's phones. So after a while, people get tired to call you or something like that.
Yeah.
And it can happen. Isolation is huge.
Yeah, and I think here in the diaspora, this is a very sensitive thing because when you come, like you have, like Wamboi now, she lives alone. You have you have many people, you have many friends who will call you and maybe even look for you. But there are others who have no contact to other people. They're just living alone in their house. And I find that so scaring because if anything happened to you, no one would know.
No one will know.
No one would know.
Yeah.
And because this community, what I also find here in Germany, they have a community where they're used to living alone.
Yes.
We are not used to that. So if you come get married to somebody who is living alone and you're only the two of you in the house, and then maybe something happens to him and you have no contact to the outside world, you're so isolated. You're just...
you can be terribly isolated.
This isolation is so
Yes,
scary.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. I have seen a lot of people isolated. Yeah. Some of them have isolated themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those ones are rare. But normally, most of them are people who are isolated indirectly through their marriages
Yeah,
and
yeah,
partnerships, and
yeah.
then they
Abuse.
accepted it. And maybe after a while, they just gave up and said, okay,
This
let's
is now.
continue. And now they are psychologically, they have some psychological problems, you know.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because I think you can't go through that unscathed.
You can't.
No.
A lot of these diseases, like you hear, like you get some of these immune diseases, even things like cancer, some of them come from stress. By
Yes.
the way, I didn't tell you, I had cancer
Oh my God.
in 2012,
2012.
colon cancer, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Did chemotherapy. That time my children were small.
Yeah.
I remember I did chemotherapy for about 2 weeks and I was supposed to do 12 sessions.
Yes.
I broke it. I told the oncologist I must go to Kenya to say bye-bye to my children because the chemotherapy was so tough. It's a very tough process.
Oh my
Imagine.
God.
So anyway, he allowed me to go. At that time, they was very small, even I couldn't discuss about in detail. I told them roughly, but I didn't show them like anything. I just told them I just came to just check on you guys, but I'm getting the best medicine. But I think they were not so affected because they saw, oh, she's in Europe, she's going to be okay.
She's
gonna be
gonna
You know,
okay.
everybody believes in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are not even supposed to die as long as you
Yeah.
go to hospital.
Yeah.
This is something really because nobody even asks you, how are you doing? Because you're supposed
Not
to be
really.
fine.
You're supposed to be fine.
You're supposed to
yeah.
be fine. You have the
Yeah.
best.
You have
Yeah.
the you have
Yeah.
the money. You have
Yeah.
wow. And now the strength going through chemotherapy and flying to Kenya. You know, sometimes I'm just amazed by the love of a mother to her child. Because normally this is not something, when I see people going through chemotherapy, they are very weak. You know, they cannot even get out of bed, some of them. But you're flying to Kenya to make sure that you see your kids. Were you worried you were going to die?
I was feeling like I was going to die because by the time I had chemotherapy, I was all black. My hair had turned gray.
Oh, Jesus.
So it didn't fall, but it was turning gray. Yeah. And mind you, I didn't have the very high stages. I was in the first stages. Yeah. So
It was discovered early.
it was discovered early. And
Thanks
so after it was
God.
cut off, my doctor advised do the chemotherapy just to ensure that in case there are any other cells around,
There will be
yeah, because it was only
yeah.
on the big, it had not gone to the small one, you know, or moved on. It was not
the
whatever
small
they call them,
intestines. Yeah. Metastasized
Yeah,
or something like
metastasized or something like that. Yeah. But it is honestly, it is tough, tough. And the funniest thing, let me tell you, when I had it, because I really didn't know my rights, you know, because I didn't go to school, so I didn't even know when I'd only started working with the housekeeping, and then after housekeeping, I stopped with the housekeeping. So now I was working with a certain certain
Caring, like
Caring,
caring
yeah.
for.
yeah. So I was now doing housekeeping by going to people's the people who are sick in their homes, cleaning for them, not cleaning them personally because
For
that's
them.
the nurses' work, but their house, you know, the kitchen, the bathroom, like that, making sure. But can you imagine when I had that? It is called, I don't know what it is called. They are forgotten.
Yeah.
You know, some of these things God helped me to forget. I don't remember how,
Like a
whatever this thing is called.
self-protection.
It's a self-protection. You forget some things. So when I had the chemotherapy, because I had to stay with it like 48 hours, and then you come the next week is blood removal, then the next week again.
Yeah.
I was working
You are going to
Oh my
work.
God. You have cancer and you're going
because
to
of
work.
the money.
Oh my God.
So I would like when my children, sometimes they'll watch this video, they'll understand when they think I don't love them, then to
Going
realize,
through
Oh
chemotherapy
my
and
God.
going to work, cleaning.
yeah,
Imagine that. Jesus Christ.
I don't even know where God had that strength.
So we are sitting here with you. You beat cancer. You're a cancer survivor and also domestic violence abuse survivor. You've survived so many things, and I really appreciate the way you also tell us about your coping mechanisms. And you've mentioned alcohol also a couple of times. And I just wanted to say, because I think this is something that we don't talk about because it's shameful. We talk about the survival stories, but we don't talk about the coping things. What were we using to cope?
To help us go through
help-
that time.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you just shortly, how did you define it for yourself? Because you even said it's a disease. Not many people know this. How did you define it for yourself, and how are you getting out of that? Or what do you use today as a coping mechanism when you're in trouble?
Today I don't allow myself to get into a lot of trouble.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that.
That's
because
a
I
good
deal
one.
with it, yeah. I can't say that I don't take alcohol. I do take, but I take enough to enjoy. I don't take it because
It's no longer
I don't
this.
take it because I'm having a problem. If I feel like taking my beer, I take beer. I don't take whiskey or whatever. But if I feel like taking my drinks, I will take. In this country, let me ask you, what else would you do? Tell me, if like I live alone. So when I have my off or whatever, I've been there, I've done my videos, I've done my work, the voluntary work, I've moved from here to there to there. And one day I just feel, oh, I need to go out, especially in the summer. I'll go out and look where my friends are. If they're sitting at the park, I'll go to the park and sit with them, take my drink, sit there and laugh. We laugh. Now I take it for fun, not at it because...
You're not dependent on this
It's
on this
not a
substance.
dependency. Yeah, no, I don't take it every day. I don't have to. I have it in the house. I don't even take it. Bottles of wine in the house, I don't drink them.
Yeah.
Unless I
Did
have
you just
visitors.
stop, or did you get help from somewhere?
There's a time I had stopped going to the church. I do stop. Boop, and I
you
can
just-
stop. I can stop as long as I have the reason why I'm stopping.
Yeah.
I can stop anytime I want to. But let's say one thing, and it's nice to give yourself a voice. When you're extraordinary, not because it is you who is extraordinary, because there is a mission. I believe everybody is here for a purpose.
Yes.
And this is one thing I always tell anybody, even going through domestic violence, don't think you are here by mistake. Even when that person tells you you have nobody cares about you, that's a lie. That's a lie. You have a purpose. You didn't come here by mistake. There is a plan. There is a reason why you came here. And boy, like now what you have done for you in your profession, the work you are doing. Carol, look at this beautiful place you have. Yeah, there is.
Everybody has a purpose.
Everybody has a purpose. Me, I believe my purpose has something to do with domestic violence abuse, because when somebody is talking to me, I understand fully what they are saying. I don't doubt them one single minute.
Yeah.
No
because
matter
you've
how
been
much
through
they
it.
ramble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. So what are some of the different types of domestic violence? Because sometimes we just think, when I have a husband who is beating me, that's
That
domestic,
is domestic violence.
Yeah. But I think there's much more to that. And especially now, talking about diaspora, I tend to think that it's a bit different from the domestic violence we went through, or people went through at home. At home, there's a lot of beating, but I think here in the diaspora, it's more even psychological. So what are the forms of domestic abuse,
The biggest forms
violence and abuse? Yeah.
is somebody abusing you or using, let's say, very racist terms and reminding you that I brought you without me, I brought you, I don't know from where I helped you with whatever, abusing you, diminishing you, humiliating you, body shaming you. That is the physical abuse and the emotional. Then there is the financial abuse. A lot of people, they do take, like even if they have children, to the person takes all the money. This person, because they have isolated you, don't even know your rights about like the children money. That money is for the children. You don't even know your right that as a housewife, you're supposed to get a little bit of money for housewife. You don't know that nobody can stop you from going to school or working if you want to. It's not allowed. It's your legal right here to do it. So these are the things which I blog and write and keep on referring people to read these things and know it's their right. And if they don't understand, to ask.
Yeah.
Then there are other things like technological abuse is the most recent.
Yeah.
Because these days people don't want to beat you because that black eye or whatever is easy.
It's visible.
It's visible, and even if you report it, that's evidence. But with the psychological, whatever, it's very difficult. For example, if somebody, they know your email address or whatever, maybe you get a letter from the lawyer, or you have a termin somewhere, the doctors, they see they erase the email, so you don't go for your termins.
Appointments.
Yes, so for your appointment, you have got a letter to go to even a new job, you're looking for a new job, they know about it, you get an appointment to go for an interview, they erase that.
Oh my God.
Others, they put something,
Cameras.
some cameras, and maybe you're in the kitchen. When you come back, they say, that water you are taking, wasn't it a bit too... Why are you drinking tap water? And the person was somewhere, then they know what you are doing. You start feeling paranoid. Yeah. Or you leave something like a glass like this, or your phone here, and then the next minute, let's say you come back, they have removed it, then you start looking for it, and then usually they do that with
making
car
you
keys.
look like you're crazy.
You are going
So you
crazy.
think you're crazy.
Yeah. That's the
Manipulating
gaslighting.
you.
Yeah, and making you think like you're going crazy. Then the next thing the kids are here, you see, the way you always forget.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's
Playing
also
with
very
you.
strategic.
And the more you cry, the more you are feeding that vampire thirst in them. They are really enjoying it.
They like seeing you helpless.
They like seeing you helpless. Yeah. And when they see that you are about to leave, they start love bombing you again. Yes, they'll bring you maybe flowers. They'll take you out maybe for a dinner.
Yeah.
Or they'll bring you something you like, even a candy.
Yeah.
2-3 days, then it starts all over again.
Yeah. So they're showing you, I love you, but you're this helpless person and you need me.
Yes, I've had other cases, mostly like you are just maybe you have borrowed a little bit, they're giving you a silent treatment, somebody all of a sudden is not talking to you, you don't know why, you don't know for whatever reason, you wake up like in the night and you find somebody just standing there looking at you.
Oh my God.
Such crazy things, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know what I would do if...
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah,
That's
a
so
lot
scary.
of that, yeah.
That's such a psychological terror.
Such a psychological terror, yeah. It's psychological terror, and then telling you nobody knows you, nobody cares.
They make you a nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk on the phone, let's say you call home or you call a friend, they'll be nearby. You don't have to go far with the
Wanting
phone.
to
You
know.
talk there,
Yeah.
so you'll never be able to talk. And then also they tap your phone, so they know. Some they tap your car if you have a car. They know where you went.
Yeah. Where you're going.
Oh my God.
I know. Yeah, not at the things which I'm guessing. Or
These
I've
are things
read.
you've had.
Things are things which happen. We deal with them all the time.
Yeah, I've
these
heard
are things I
about the
only read
tapping
in
of the
books.
phone. I've heard about the tapping of the phone. I knew a lady who the husband had tapped their phone and they were listening to all conversations, reading all messages.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
that one I've had.
Yeah.
And it's really bad.
Or when you go to the doctor, they go to the doctor, and then when you go to the doctor, normally you're supposed to talk to the doctor alone. They talk for you. You don't get any time to go anywhere you want to go. Even if it's the doctor, they must go there for you. You must somehow have a sign how you'll be able to talk with the doctor alone.
So when somebody comes to you or you hear such stories, what do you tell them? What do you tell such a lady?
The most important is that you have to listen to the story.
Yes.
Because usually by the time they come to it, something which has been going on for a long time. People never come to this with these stories in the beginning. Because in the beginning, they are doubting themselves.
Yeah.
But you are too emotional. What did I do wrong?
Ah, okay.
Or somebody hits you and then says, you are the one who made me so annoyed and made me hit you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you even hear the people now saying, but it was me.
Yeah, it was me.
It was my fault. That's
It
why
was
he
my
hit
fault.
me.
Yeah. He likes his food warm. He doesn't like it cold.
God almighty.
But it's when somebody is fed up, when they're just enjoying the game, maybe they are sick also, there's something wrong, But the fact remains, or sexual things, I know a lot of people, what they have done, because of taking photos, these photos people take. And I always tell people, please avoid these things, because especially if you know your relationship is not very good, don't do it. It's not like somebody you know for a long time. This idea of taking videos, because after that you want to leave, they say they're going to send this to your offices.
They manipulate you now.
To your workers, your workmates, to your parents,
Yeah. Yeah.
To your oh my God.
to your family,
Yeah.
Or they start telling you they're going to take your children again because you don't know that it is your right. A lot of people, and this is one thing I really like to say, is about this deportation.
Yeah.
People sometimes, and especially this has happened when they just come and they start living together, especially if it has been a far-off relationship, like online, and then people decide, let's say somebody decides to come and join their partner here, and then after a time now, because now they are living close together, Number one, when they come, they find the culture, the shock, because
Yes, of
maybe
course.
this person had just taken a loan, and when he was coming to visit, so he had a lot of money, only to come here and realize
He's a poor person.
Yeah, he's a poor person.
It's not the movies we used to see. It's not the television kind of love we used to see with big houses and all that. You come here and you're living in an apartment
in the sky.
Yes, that one. It's not that. It's not that.
Yes.
Yeah. So you are coming with these expectations, no dinners, no being carried when you get into the bedroom, being carried to bed and champagne is waiting for you. It's not that.
Yeah. You just come and find this person who actually brought you here. They'll even get you a job and whatever. They even, and now they'll control the money. The bank account cards, they are the ones who stay with them.
Yeah, yeah.
The medical card, some of them refuse to take for the people the medical card.
God.
There's a lot of things. Yeah, it's just because whatever it was died. So it is. I would suggest before somebody comes here, and this idea of you are coming here and then you are keeping it a secret from people, and then you tell people later, I am in German because we believe. I don't know if to say before
what they'll
something will not work out. Those
say
things,
where you are going.
those superstitious things.
Yeah. Say where you're going.
Yeah, because we are told very often, don't tell people.
Yeah.
And then you come here totally anonymous. Nobody knows where you are.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
And you have no phone. And there are so many scenes. And then with domestic violence, it's not about the race. This particular one, why I'm keeping on talking about it this way, is because I'm talking about the migrants in Germany. But the things are the same, whether it's in Africa or it's in Asia.
Regardless of where,
It is regardless of wherever. It has nothing. Even there are women who also abuse their men, but that is much, much rare. But they can give some other kind of abuse, like financial, you stressing your man so much financially, or something like that, or being too promiscuous. But there are some things which people should really watch out, especially things to do with technology and social media. You really have to be careful. Be very careful.
Is it only now the people you deal with or people who come to you because they know what work you do? Do you also have some men, or is it mostly women?
We have heard about 1 or 2 men coming to us, and we have solved the problem. But it is very rare for
Men
the men
don't
to
talk
come
about
out here.
it.
But they are.
They suffer in silence mostly.
Especially a lot of African married. They
suffer
they
in
are really
silence.
abused, especially sexually.
Oh, Jesus.
When you cannot say no.
Yeah.
And maybe the person won't, you can't say no, but a no should be a no.
Yeah. But you're also your doors are also open for men. It's not only
the
about
door is open. The door is open because, like now, when we work, I work very closely with Jane Getonga Tuition, and she works at AVO.
Yeah.
So sometimes, to get a place, the shelter, sometimes it's very difficult.
Yes.
So at least the contact is there.
Was there, yeah.
And she is a professional.
Okay. Yeah.
Me, I am there by experience and curiosity, and I do my own research a lot, and I love learning.
Yeah.
But she's there she works with with AVO. Yeah.
So, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. If now maybe someone is listening to us and they are going through this right now, what will you tell them? What is the first thing they should do?
The first thing they should do is are they aware they are going through domestic violence? Because sometimes you are not aware that you are going through domestic violence because you are not being beaten. So maybe it is good, go to Caritas or go even to the social media pages. Even you can just Google. I am feeling like this in my marriage. It comes there.
Nowadays, the information is out there.
There are questions there. And then there are about 10 questions which ask this. Are you feeling, has this and this and this happened to you? Then you see. Then if you see, that, because one thing for us, we are not advocating for marriages to break up. But at the same time, we are not advocating for people to be abused and not feel like they have their rights. Because domestic violence and abuse is a human violation.
Yes,
it's a human violation. That is what people forget, and it's a crime.
Yes.
And like stalking. If you find somebody is really stalking, you take it seriously. A lot of people had been killed by stalkers. You don't ignore it. You need to. Stalking has been, by the way, confirmed as a criminal offense if you can prove it, and you can. what they should do is just talk to somebody. And I am always there to listen because I can never advise somebody to like take off because that is your own decision, it's your life. But
So you don't tell people, get out now.
no, but if somebody is being beaten or where there are children involved, and you are allowing your children, you are saying you're not leaving the marriage because of that, and yet these children are witnessing a lot of domestic violence.
Yes.
If you know that, even in your neighborhood, it is always nice to inform the Jugendamt. People think that if you inform the Jugendamt, the children are taken away.
Be
No,
taken away. Yeah.
they can if they are seeing that you have not been reacting.
But if you actively
if you actively go yourself and you know
and report these things,
and report this thing, then you'll be given help. Yeah. You'll be
so if I now come and say I'm being domestically abused, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to do, can you please help me? So I have recognized this is what is happening, but I'm feeling helpless now because this husband has been taking care of everything. He has been paying the rent. I live in his house. I have maybe 2 kids. So I don't know where to go. So I come to you. Where do you tell me what I should do, or I should go or ask for help?
No, first of all, we'll give you the shelter home. You ring for the shelter, you go there because they are social workers.
Okay.
Can you not be deported? Can this person now, when you're in the shelter, can they deport you back?
Do they know where you are? Do they know?
No,
these
they will
shelters
not know.
are...
The shelters normally you are not supposed to know. It's only a lot of women when they go to the shelter, they still communicate with them. And they are putting other women in danger. They start communicating.
Oh, that is really bad.
Yeah,
because this is help you're getting. And they're supposed to be anonymous, these shelters.
The shelters are anonymous. They'll help you. Whatever it is. If it is a job you want, if it's your child to go to kindergarten, if it's to look for a house, if it is the lawyer's list, they have the lawyer's list for pro bono.
Yeah.
They have all that. And the best thing is with the shelter. You'll go there, you'll see you're not alone, and you'll have time to be able to think. You know, you cannot be in a crisis place and be able to think clearly.
That's true. Yeah,
you
can't.
You have to remove yourself out of that situation first to be able to think clearly.
Yes, but you should never again just tell somebody, especially a violent person, tell them you're leaving them. Something serious can happen to you.
That's a good
So
one.
you should always have a safety plan. Always have your documents away, your children's documents and everything. If you're going to a friend's house, don't carry all the clothes. Just carry a few because those places are not big. They're only there for a short time. Or if you feel you are at risk, go to the police station and say you are threatened. Oh, yes, another thing. People should know that when somebody threatens you, like, I'll kill you. If you ever leave me, I'll kill you. If they threaten, that is an enough statement. The idea of a thought is always said will one day become an action. If somebody keeps on threatening you like that, you should go to the police and report it.
And report that.
Yeah, the good thing is once it is already in the system, you will be called. And it's in the system. So if anything happens or anything, then everybody always knows who is the first suspect. Yeah. And also the police stations, if you say you cannot go back because you're fearing, sometimes the shelters are full, but they always know all the secret places where there are the shelters.
They can take you somewhere.
They'll take you to a shelter.
Yeah.
Even if there's none near your place, they'll take you somewhere else.
So what you're saying is, even if you're still staying in that house, if something happens, you should report it to the police because the records will always show the history of your relationship and the abuse. Not when everything gets bad.
Yeah.
Because what I hear and why I'm saying this is when it comes to the issue of custody of children. So when you just disappear and there was no record of things that were happening during that marriage, you might have difficulties in the custody case. If he says, I take care of my children, I've never done anything, and you have never reported anything. Yeah. So it is important to keep on reporting these things. Even if you're still staying, just go to the police and report that.
Yes.
So it shows in the record, 2 years ago he hit me, 3 years ago he said he would kill me.
Or even
like
if
that.
you have not gone even to the police station, you can go to Caritas, Diaconia, Avo. Just have it on record.
Even if you're scared of police, you can go to these other spaces.
Yeah, because sometimes maybe you don't want to go police. Sometimes you really go when you have been beaten or something like that. It's always good to go and use these social offices. They are there. Just call, make an appointment, go there and give you a case. They'll be able to advise you. Maybe you need to see a family lawyer. They'll be able to say maybe you both need a therapist. Depends. These are people, they are professionals.
Yes. Yes.
The only thing us we do is like sometimes somebody is so scared, we can hold their hand. Like somebody wants to go to Caritas, I can say,
Okay.
I'll come with you.
Yeah.
We will
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great
Yeah.
service.
Maybe, yeah,
Wow.
something like that. Or I'll advise you where you'll go. I'll call one and say, go, they have made a termin for you. If you
Wow.
don't know the language, you are able
Yeah.
to speak it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you make them feel they are not alone.
you make for them a termin, an appointment, yeah.
Wow.
And then they go there because they are the ones who know the steps they follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you notice that? Can you, when you now meet somebody on the street, I know this is a difficult question, but is there a way of seeing this person, the way they are behaving, their body, how their body is? Are you able to somehow sense, or even how because sometimes you meet some ladies on the street, they're even afraid of looking at you and saying hello. It's like this guy has said you are not supposed to talk to black people or something. Are you able to see that from a distance, or is it difficult?
It is difficult because sometimes you don't know whether it is, there are some of us when we are here, we don't want anything to do with Africans.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can't really tell unless but if we are sitting somewhere for some time in a restaurant, I can be able to observe because I'm a very intuitive person. I can feel something is not right. I might not be able to place it, but I can feel.
Yeah. Do you speak to these people if you feel something like that?
Mm, no, but if I do meet them, let's say like if we are somewhere and we are talking, I always keep on saying, hey, I do this, and people know about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or just talk in such a way
It's so
that
difficult
you
because
invite
it's
them.
private.
Yes, yes.
And
This is a
people are
very
generally
private
ashamed
place.
of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's also private. If somebody asks, what has this got to do with you? What would you tell them?
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, you have
So
to
you
be
normally
careful.
wait. Yeah, you normally wait people to come to you.
Yes, people have to read the posts. And when somebody knows when it is the right time to ask questions and
Okay.
ask for help.
Yeah.
Because another thing is this. It is the average victim of domestic violence will probably go 7 to 8 times back.
Oh,
They do even go to the frying house, and then
Yeah.
they somehow other one they understand each other, they go back.
yeah.
But what I can advise people is that when you are here in Germany, please don't run away to a friend's home. Please go to the frying house if you have to.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not a friend?
Because when you run away to it is your word against his. He can even say you had run away to a boyfriend's.
Okay. Okay.
And you might also be putting your friend in some danger if it's a violent person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So always better go to, even if you'll go back, just go to these homes, these shelters.
Yeah, go to the shelter. You don't have to stay there forever. If you want to go back, nobody stops you.
I think this is important
This is very important.
to know that nobody will stop you from going back if you want to go back.
They never stop you.
And you can still come back another time. They'll never say, no, you are here another time, so we don't take you. We don't judge. Don't judge.
Yeah.
This is so good.
This is really important information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For people who are going through such things, you can always go to these shelters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
can have your
it's not
process.
like you have to stay there on like Charity says that they'll tell you next time don't come.
Yeah.
So if you experience and I can imagine that it's hard to leave somebody you have been living with because they have also made you dependent on them. It's not a very people will tell you just leave him, but it's not as easy as that. It's not. It's a very difficult decision to make. I was not abused in any way. I had a husband he was a really, really nice guy. But I left him for reasons that were different. Like I didn't see any future with him. He was not abusing me. He was a nice guy. But the decision to leave him, and there was not that. It's really a difficult one.
Yeah.
And like you say, your residential permit or whatever you have
Also
somehow depends on this person.
Yes.
So you have to think about it. Do I really want to leave this person and risk being sent back home?
Yeah, the thing is, if you know that it is driving you mad,
Yeah.
and there has been threats,
Yes.
no, somebody doesn't have to beat you, but there can be that deadly threat, like now waking up in the middle of the night and seeing somebody standing over you. or just the look of somebody looking at you in a very, very strong hatred. You know what I mean? You know, somebody just strong hate, just the body. Like whenever they enter the house, you know, like you
This fear, you know.
this fear, this fear. You better start doing it because instincts are your instincts.
Oh,
And you
thank
know why. And really, if you know why, you know. Nobody knows anybody better than you know yourself.
This is a really deep conversation, Charity. Thank you so much for sharing this. And I believe that there are people who will hear this conversation and maybe be able to look for help, even if it's not getting out. Yeah.
Can they
Thank
write you? Can they
Yeah.
just write you?
They
Even
can
if
write
to-
Where
me.
can people find you?
I think I gave you my contacts. I did.
Yeah, I will include everything in the description box.
Yeah.
Charity, you find her on Facebook, on Instagram. Your Charity,
Facebook Messenger, Charity Wairimu Ngugi-Latz.
yeah, Charity Wairimu Ngugi-Latz. But we'll write all the
we'll include the
the
information. Where to
information,
find
even
her.
the website, her website. She's also a blogger, a vlogger, and she's writing really nice articles. You just heard the kind of articles she writes. Are they really
By the way,
nice
in my
ones?
website, it's called Unmasking
Yeah.
domesticviolence.org. If you go there, it has got all
A lot
the
of
different forms
information.
of abuse, how you know you are what,
Yeah.
why doesn't she leave,
Yeah.
how can you help a friend,
Yeah.
what are you supposed to do, what are the do's and the don'ts when you
Yeah.
are even talking to your friend of yours, somebody comes to you like to me, what are the don'ts I should not do, and what are the do's I should do? Like listening is a very, very important one without interrupting and saying, oh, I know that's how it feels. You don't know
Okay.
because it's not the same thing.
Thank you for this conversation. And like the tradition now in the podcast, there's this last question that we ask our guests. We are putting you on the hot seat. My question to you is, you're now 64. You told us that. So 74. At 74, still looking as good as you are, as healthy as you are, where do you see yourself and what will you be doing? What do you imagine doing at that time?
At 74, I would gladly like to see myself in Kenya with a house with a small swimming pool just for me. I love water. I love swimming.
Wow.
I go swimming nearly every day.
Yeah.
In the morning, very
Yeah.
early in the morning, 6:30. Because I tried exercises in the gym that one, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So I would love to have a place of my own, and I believe I'll get it. That is the vision
Wow.
which I have.
Amen.
The
Amen,
small,
amen.
where I hop inside every morning and I hop
Yeah.
out every day, living somewhere with a nice garden. And I would love to be in my country because of the weather and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Charity at 74 in this lovely house with a pool outside. Please invite us for coffee.
I will. Not for coffee, for even better.
Yeah. I would love to see you.
And
And
roasted maize.
I can
Roasted
see
meat, yeah,
you. I can
mokimo.
see you outside, just looking after your skuma wikis and just doing these healthy foods. And I really would love
I
that for
always
you.
think also of opening a shelter in Kenya.
Ah, okay.
Or if not that, doing that, just partnering with some other group which is doing it here and just because I think shelters are really, really important
Important.
for
Yeah.
giving people a break.
Yeah. I think we will continue at some point. I think Charity,
Yeah.
we want to invite you back
Yes.
to come
Thank
and have
you.
another conversation with us because
Thank
you're very deep in the things you talk about, and I think I just feel good being in your presence. I feel like you're not. My mother is over 70, but you have this motherly aura around you that makes me so comfortable sitting here talking to you and just looking at you, seeing you aging gracefully. Just that thought of you now saying at 74 you want a house with a swimming pool, it makes me feel so good.
Beautiful.
And I wish that for you. And I wish you all the best. And if you are going through anything, just go to Charity's website, look for her, or look for us, and we can connect you with Charity.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank
you for
you.
this conversation.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
opening up and sharing your story here on Far From Home Diaspora Conversations. And we hope to have you back.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. So, to all of our viewers and listeners, Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, thank you so much. And as always, please subscribe and like us and tell us what you like and tell us what we can improve on. We appreciate everything that you tell us.
Bye-bye.
Have a good week. Bye.
Charity.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that I always prepare food for my guests who come to this podcast. And today, I have made...
Wow.
This is one boy's favorite part. I think this is why she's doing the podcast, so that she can have the food. So, let me see it.
Wow.
And today, let me pull my microphone here so that everybody can hear me, even our audience and our listeners. I have made for you potatoes and broccoli in a creamy coconut sauce. I added some tomatoes for the colors, for the nutrients, of course. And then I fried a very nice piece of fish that is to accompany that dish. And of course, some coriander. And I love combining colors. Enjoy your food, people.
Wow.
Enjoy it.
Super.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate
I
you.
You're
really appreciate
welcome.
Oh, wow.
So I'm leaving out the fish, but that's okay. You guys enjoy your meal.
I can have your fish?
Yes, you can have it. Charity, you know those children who always complain about that is one boy all the time.
I eat with
All
my
the
eyes.
time. Yeah. Just taste it and I hear what you think about it.
Yes, I do.
Looking at it, it's so...
And it has some curry in it. Yeah, that's the yellow color. It's a curry. You like it? This is not even speaking. Guys,
And like I am also hungry.
Thank you so
honestly-
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, this is really good food, I must say. I know I always say this, but to be fair, this is a chef koch. She makes the
Yes.
best food, so every time
I love cooking. That's the thing I love doing most. And that is why I thought I have to combine this in this podcast. Because like I feel like everything I'm doing, there has to be food in it. And it would not have been complete for me if there was not food at the end.
I followed
Yeah.
you some time back. Was it on ARD or was that DF?
VDR.
VDR with that very important chef.
Yes, yes.
I listen, you see, I've been following you.
Yes, that's good. So we are now going to enjoy our meal in, and just have the rest of the conversation here, which we'll share with you sometimes later when Charity visits us in another episode. Thank you so much for watching. You'll get the recipe, like always, on my website, www.chefcarolshow.com. Thank you so much, and bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.